Well, you go back and you look at the relationship between Japan and the United States in as far as booking Americans to come and work in Japan. And at one time, there was just one office until Giant Baba and Antonio Inoki split up and became All Japan with Mr. Baba and New Japan with Inoki. The uh, Ricky Dozan and those guys from that office, and after Ricky had left, the Japanese used to send their young boys to Amarillo to learn. So you had the giant Shirai Baba, you had Inoki, you had Saruda, you had Kobayashi, all these big, young Japanese stars to be that would come and they would live with the Funks and they would work in the States. And that's where they would learn how to work.
Right.
Then they would come back as international stars in Japan because they had made it in the United States. At least that's how it was reported. So you had Dory Funk Sr. and then later on Dory Funk Jr., who became the liaison to the American side to book talent in Japan. If Baba wanted someone, he went through Dory Funk Jr. Dory was kind of like the booker. Dory learned Japanese. Dory's as fluent in Japanese as he is in English.
Oh, wow.
And so Dory understood that culture and understood what they were looking for. And Dory kept traveling. Another reason Dory never stopped traveling the world, because Dory was always looking for talent for Japan. Terry was more interested in being in the ring. I don't think Terry ever wanted to be the booker. I don't think Terry ever really wanted to be much more than a performer. And I know there were times that he tried, he and Murdoch and Mulligan and all those guys, they wanted to run the territory and what have you. Actually, that wasn't Terry's bailiwick.
Right.
It wasn't anything he really wanted to do. Terry just wanted to work. And you go back and you look at what Terry did as NWA champion, which was frowned upon by the NWA, by the way, because Terry would go out and have these wild matches. Terry got the moniker, unpredictable, because he was. And Terry did whatever he needed to do to get a reaction and to get people talking about him. And a lot of times the higher ups in the NWA did not really like that too much. They wanted their wrestling champion. They wanted their Luthez shooters, that by God, if anybody tries them, he'll take them. That wasn't Terry Funk. Terry Funk was a by God worker. Terry Funk was an entertainer.
Right.
Terry Funk was a tough son of a gun. I don't know how many people would have wanted to try Terry because he could hold his own. Different way. Same thing with Junior. Different way. You talk about, Terry had that time as being the baby brother that would go and go to the markets and soften up Dory's opponents. There was that part of Terry that he learned and got used to traveling the world and doing all of that stuff. With Jack, you had Jerry. Jerry would go into the market beforehand to soften people up for his big brother, Jack.
Mm.
And, Jerry did that. Then Jerry was an NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion. Now I always wish, that Jerry had been NWA World Heavyweight Champion. He was definitely worthy and would have definitely done a great job. But that was the uniqueness of that formula of brothers. Now it's reversed. Now Baby Brother's got the title. Big Brother's got to go out and soften people up for his little brother.
That's right.
So now Dory's doing all of that. The rivalries that Terry had with Jack and Jerry Briscoe, just unbelievable. The rivalry with Harley Race that goes all the way back to the 60s in Amarillo, when Harley Race was Mad Dog Harley Race, Handsome Harley Race, just a kid, a punk kid, as was Terry. And they formed a bond, which there was always that bond and that friendship between Terry Funk and Dory Funk and Harley Race. Harley wasn't always this just grizzled veteran that, by God, all knew. There was a Mad Dog Harley Race. Got arrested every other night. That Dory Funk Sr. had to calm down. Had to teach him how to be a businessman. Had to teach him how to chill out. Think about that. And Terry, I don't think conventionally didn't look at the business as the end all be all. Oh my God, you got to protect the business. You've got to do this. You got to do that. Terry looked at it as, I believe I'm an entertainer. They're going to believe I'm real because I am. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to entertain them. I'm going to do shit they've never seen before. I'm going to make them believe when they see the unbelievable. And that's what Terry did, literally all over the world, man. Terry used to go into Puerto Rico for Carlos Colon and have riots every night. Would always laugh about, by God, I don't know how I'm going to get off the island this time, Junior. But one thing was for sure, you put the Funks on the card, it was going to sell out. They opened up Aruba. They opened up all those islands, the Caribbean islands, when they worked in Florida. The Funks, oh my God, man. The Funks owned Florida. A lot of people give, they talk about Pak Song Nam and Gary Hart and Bill Watts making the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. You can't leave Terry Funk's name out of that equation either.
Right.
Because it was Terry who came in and solidified the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And they made it real. They made it believable. People believed that if Terry Funk saw Dusty pumping gas somewhere, that Terry Funk was going to jump him and shove that gas hose down his throat. So people believed because Terry made them believe that. And it's an art form, and it's a nuance that is lost somewhere along the way. It got lost. Yes, we became a lot more sophisticated. And yes, there were things that were socially unacceptable that were probably socially unacceptable then, but tolerated. Terry just made you give it a second thought before you walked up to him and said that wrestling wasn't what it was purported to be.